Your knee didn't start aching just because you walked too far. And it isn't only your age. It isn't only your cartilage. It isn't only that fall from 20 years ago. There's one factor in this that nobody ever told you about. And it doesn't live inside your body. It's a number. Someone picked that number for you back in 1965. And you probably obeyed it without ever noticing you were obeying. You checked your wrist in the middle of the afternoon. Then you walked one more lap around the block. Today, I'll show you 5 reasons to rethink that step goal. You can hear every one of them from right there in your recliner. You never have to get up. Reason number 1 is the strangest on the whole list, and it isn't even about walking. It's about what chasing that number stole from your week. And I saved it for last. For decades, they told you something simple, and it sounds too obvious to be wrong. The more steps you take, the healthier your knee gets. But watch this next scene closely. It knocks that whole idea over. A woman of 68 walks 9,000 steps a day, rain or shine. Then she reaches a set of 6 steps, and she climbs them sideways, one hand on the rail. How is that possible? Because for years her body got plenty of volume. It almost never got strength. Those are 2 very different things, and your knee knows the difference better than you do. The villain in this video isn't your watch. It isn't your phone. It isn't your daughter's app. The villain is the default goal. It comes built in, right from the factory. The same number shows up for a man of 34 and a woman of 74. Nobody asked about your weight. Nobody asked about your right knee. Nobody asked how many steps you climbed to reach your own front door. A generic target became a personal order, and you started answering to a screen. Nobody ever told you where that number came from. Knee pain after 60 is not the price you have to pay for aging. Let me be very clear right now. I am not telling you to stop walking. Walking is one of the best things you can do for an aging knee. What I'm telling you is simple. That number is not your doctor. Before we go any further, I want to make you a promise. Reason number 1 is the real reason a 10,000 step goal wears down an older knee. And it has nothing to do with walking at all. When you finally hear it, you'll want to walk more, not less. But none of it lands until you've heard the other 4. So stay with me all the way to the end. These 5 reasons are going to help you. Today, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Every reason here rests on real, published research. You'll hear from the Lancet Public Health, you'll hear from JAMA Internal Medicine, and you'll hear from arthritis and rheumatology. You deserve to know the sample size before you change your routine. Every one of these studies is linked below in the description. You can check them yourself anytime you like. Reason number 5. And it opens with a surprise from history. The number 10,000 was never a medical finding. It started life as a product name. Counting steps is a good idea. Measuring your movement gets a lot of people up and out of the chair. But after 60, following that number blindly can cost your knee. Here's why. Back in 1965, a Japanese company sold a little pocket pedometer. They called it manpoke. That means 10,000 step meter. They picked the number because it was round, it was easy to remember, and it was easy to sell. That's a marketing story. It is not science. Now notice what that means for you. The target came first. Any study that could test it showed up decades later. You spent 20 years obeying a pedometer slogan, and the whole time you believed it came from your doctor. Look down at your wrist right now. Look at your phone. See who's really asking you for those steps. So how do you use this at home? You trade the order for a journal. You compare this week to the week before. Then you listen to your body the next morning. Your knee tells you more than the app ever will. The most common mistake is treating that number like a prescription. you push out the missing steps, even when your knee is begging for a rest. Do the opposite. Let your knee help you decide. If it complains the next day, that day was simply too big. Now you're left with a better question. If your knee doesn't count steps, what does it count? The next reason answers exactly that. Reason number 4, and it changes the unit we're talking in. Your knee doesn't count your steps. It counts load. A step is an honest unit for your app. It's easy to add up, but after 60, your knee ignores the chart. It feels the weight instead. Here's why. Every time your foot hits the ground, your knee takes a jolt of contact force. That force isn't the same as the number on your scale. It's far bigger. There's a small study of 5 people. Each one had an artificial knee fitted with sensors inside. The researchers could measure the force right there in the joint. In those 5 people, walking on flat ground peaked near 2.5 times their body weight. Going downstairs ran even higher than that. 5 people is a small sample. I'll tell you that straight, but it gives you a sense of the loads your knee carries. Now think about the math your watch never does for you. The same 10,000 steps is 1 dose for a 145-pound woman. It's a very different dose for a 175-pound man. The device asks the exact same thing of both. Marilyn is 66 and lives in Iowa. She hit 10,000 steps every single day for 7 weeks. Her knee swelled up, so she stopped completely. That was 3 months on the couch. When she tried to come back, she was worse than before. Marilyn made 2 mistakes. The first was chasing a number her legs weren't ready for. The second mistake was far worse. She stopped walking altogether. Sitting is not the fix. It never will be. So how do you put this to work? You start thinking in doses, not goals. 2 or 3 short outings tire your knee less than 1 long march. The most common mistake is copying someone else's goal. Use your own weight and your own knee as the guide. One thing before we move on. Is your knee swollen, hot, or buckling under you? That is not a step count problem. Is the pain in one leg only? And did it come on suddenly? That's not it either. Stop guessing and get that knee looked at. Everything I cover today is slow, quiet wear. It is not the kind that shows up overnight. Hold on to this idea of load, because the next reason shows that extra load may be buying something you already have. And if all this is landing for you, go ahead and hit like. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's next. Reason number 3. Now we look at what your knee earns back for all that effort. After 60, the benefit levels off long before 10,000 steps. Walking every day is good for you. That is not up for debate in this video. I'll champion walking at any age, and that doesn't change today. But after 60, the last steps of the goal pay off less than you think. And the reason will surprise you. There's an analysis published in 2022 in the Lancet Public Health. It pulled together 15 research groups. That's more than 47,000 adults, all followed over time. In adults 60 and older, the drop in death risk stopped early. The benefit flattened out around 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day. Did you notice? That number is far smaller than your goal. Now this is association, not cause. The study is observational. It does not say 10,000 steps raises your risk of dying. What the data show is simple. The benefit stops growing. It does not reverse. That's plateau language, and I won't stretch it any further than that. There's also a 2019 study in JAMA Internal Medicine. It followed 16,741 older women. Their average age was near 72, and it looked at women only. Deaths fell as steps rose, but the effect leveled off around 7,500 steps a day. This is association too, and it backs up the first study on its own. Now hear me clearly. Neither study measured your knee. The outcome there was death from any cause. It was not arthritis. So the bridge to your knee is mine, not the researchers. This is a cost and benefit argument, and I want that honest with you. In that top range of steps, your knee keeps paying the load. But in this data, the longevity benefit had already shown up earlier. So you stop chasing the peak. You start chasing the steady habit. 7 easy days of walking beat 2 heroic ones every time. The most common mistake is reading this as permission to quit. It isn't. Too little is still too little for your body. Now do this for me. Look at your watch. Look at your phone. Look at whatever is counting for you. Find the number it's asking of you. Then tell me in the comments below. What is that number and who decided it for you? Because I promise you this, it wasn't your doctor and it wasn't your knee. Hold that thought. It's going to connect straight to reason number 1. The next reason shows which steps cost you the most. Reason number 2. Now we talk about the end of your day. The last steps of your goal are the most expensive of all. An evening walk is wonderful for your mind. It helps your sleep and lifts your mood. But after 60, that final stretch arrives with your leg already tired. Here's why. The muscle on the front of your thigh works like a brake at every step. When your heel lands, it holds back the bend of your knee. While that muscle is fresh, it soaks up much of the impact for you. Try this right now. Put your hand on the front of your thigh. Press both feet down into the floor. Feel that muscle harden under your palm. That is your shock absorber, and it tires long before the rest of you does. As it wears out, the cushioning fades. Your stride starts to shorten all on its own. Ray is 73 and lives in Ohio. His daughter gave him an activity watch last Christmas. By February, Ray is walking laps in the grocery store parking lot at 8 at night. He's in a heavy coat with 1,100 steps left to close his ring. He isn't walking for his health anymore. He's paying off a debt to a device. And here's the part that hurts. That last stretch is exactly the stretch you push through on purpose. So flip the order around. Put your longest walk when your leg is still rested and fresh. If some of the goal is left over at night, let it stay left over. And listen to what your body is telling you. A shortening stride, a foot dragging on the pavement, your knee running hot as you step down off the curb. The most common mistake is closing that ring on autopilot. Ask yourself one question. Are these steps for your body or for your screen? If your brake wears out and your walk gets worse, then walking alone can't rebuild that brake. And that is exactly where reason number 1 lives. Let's go there now. Reason number 1, and this one flips the whole table over. Walking was never your problem. The real problem is this. Chasing the number stole your time away from strength work, and your knee needs that strength to stay protected. Now comes the part that turns this whole video inside out. There's a study from the Osteoarthritis Initiative, published in Arthritis and Rheumatology. It looked at people over 50 who already had arthritis on the knee X-ray. The ones who walked were less likely to develop frequent knee pain. Less likely, not more. Walking wasn't wearing their knees down. It was protecting them. This is association again, and the activity was self-reported. Even so, the direction is clear. And it points away from the couch. Here's the mechanism. This is the key to the entire video. Flat ground walking is a wonderful stimulus for your heart and your head, but it's a weak stimulus for the strength in your thigh and your seat. Those muscles are your knee's shock absorbers. Walking keeps the strength you already have. It barely rebuilds what you've been losing over the years. And strength isn't the only factor here. I need to be honest with you. Your knee pain also involves cartilage, meniscus, alignment, weight, and old injuries. Strength is one factor. It is not the whole story. Dottie is 68 and lives in Missouri. She stops halfway up the bleachers at her grandson's game. She takes the last rows sideways, one leg at a time, gripping the rail. Then she spends the whole game in her folding chair, wondering the same thing. How can someone walk 9,000 steps a day and not climb 6 steps? The answer is simple. Flat ground walking never prepared her leg for a staircase. Now try this, sitting right where you are. Straighten one leg out in front of you. Hold it for 3 seconds. Feel the muscle above your knee wake up under your hand. That tissue responds to a challenge at any age. Yes, even at 80. Your knee isn't worn out from too much walking. It's overloaded because your shock absorber grew weaker over the years. And that is the good news. So you stop trading one thing for the other. Walking and strength don't fight over your weak. They add up together. Using support belongs in that same sum. That means a cane, a handrail, a knee brace, physical therapy. None of it replaces your strength. All of it supports your strength. The most common mistake is trading strength time for more steps. And here's what I promised you at the very start. When there's real strength behind your walking, you walk more, not less. You need both together, and that's what closes out our list. Let's run back through the 5 reasons. 5 was the origin. The number 10,000 was born as a Japanese product name in 1965. 4 was the load. Your knee counts weight, not steps. 3 was the plateau. The longevity benefit levels off before your round little goal. 2 was the fatigue. Your end-of-day steps arrive with your shock absorber already tired. And 1 was the flip. Walking protects your knee, and chasing the numbers stole your strength time. I want to tell you one last thing, and it isn't about your knee. It's about walking down your 3 porch steps with your own leg holding you up. If your home here in the States has a porch like that, you know exactly the steps I mean. And your hand on the rail is always welcome there. Always. It's about still driving out to your daughter's house whenever you please. This isn't vanity. This is your independence. This is your mobility. Your knee is not a goal counter. It's what carries you wherever you decide to go, on your own terms. So keep walking, always. Just walk with a strong leg behind you. This video is for education only. It does not replace medical advice. Every health situation is different, especially if you take medication every day. Talk with your own doctor before you change your diet, your exercise, or your treatment. And tell me one more thing down below. When your knee speaks to you, is it while you walk, or is it the next morning as you get out of bed? Those are 2 very different conversations. And here's something I love about this whole story. That number 10,000 came out of Japan, from a company selling a gadget. But what older adults in Japan actually do every morning, at home, has almost nothing to do with counting. So don't forget to subscribe. The next video shows the 6 leg habits older adults in Japan do every morning. No gym, no equipment. Right there in their own home. It's so simple and so good for you that you won't want to miss it. Stay strong, stay steady, stay independent. Because aging isn't something you endure, it's something you steer. Thank you so much for staying with me this far. I'll see you in the next video.